The special thing about boat building in Falmouth is, well, there's two things. There's community spirit and there's the number of traditional boats down here. People kind of share skills, they share knowledge, they share beers down the pub. I used to be a marine biologist and I spent several years working in marine biology and marine conservation. And then I gradually just spent more and more time on the boats and didn't like being ashore. I went from marine biology to having my own boat. I started working on my own boat, working on clients' boats and just doing more and more of that until eventually it just became a sort of natural progression and I made the jump full-time into boat building. I live on my boat down in Falmouth Harbour. Every morning I wake up and I can look straight out onto the water. It's lovely when the sun sets and the sun rises. That's gorgeous. And you go up and you just feel really good to be alive. And then usually head over to my workshop or the boat that I'm working on. There's a lot of time in machining up wood and getting stuff ready for projects. And then there's a lot of time on board fixing things in place and working on the boats themselves. I own a boat called Veracity. She's a 32-foot Mousel lugger. She's actually a replica. She was built in 2004, but the original was a boat that fished out of Mousel that was built in 1904. They were built to be able to carry a large amount of fish. So she's really nice for living aboard in that respect because there's a huge amount of living space down below. Being out on the water on Veracity is amazing. You go out and you go sailing, but it is like stepping back in time. You get a different reaction from people when you're sailing on classic boats. People always want to know the history of them. So I took her to Mousel for the first time last year, which is essentially her spiritual home. That's where the original was from. And it was really nice to go ashore and see people and where did that boat come from? And what kind is she? People just seem to be really interested and there's something about them that's much more connected. Clipper does come on the boat with me on trips. She's my dog. She's 3 years old and she doesn't like the cold. The first time she went sailing, she was 8.5 weeks old. So she's been sailing for a long time. The Scilly Isles is one of my favourite places to sail. I think it's a favourite of most people that have a boat in Cornwall. Falmouth, it's about a 12-hour sail to get over there. But it's just like being in another world. There's so many places to go and so many little anchorages. After all the day trippers have gone home, you're still there. You see it first thing in the morning and you see it in some cases like checking the anchor at 3 o'clock in the morning and you see the bioluminescence in the bays. And actually the sail back from Scilly's, I had an amazing sail last year. We ended up sailing overnight because that was when the good weather window was. And as we crossed into Mounts Bay, we had dolphins in the bioluminescence, which was amazing. I don't even know how to explain what it's like to look over the back of the boat and see what is essentially a Milky Way in your wake. So bright. You could see dolphins coming in from sort of 30 feet away and you can see a perfect outline of the dolphin underwater. It's magical.